rotation. Golden calling to adapt here. They are not going to commit to the lower side. Instead, they are going to go out onto the main side here. Proland, though, the flank working out perfectly. Once again, the young gun, but ropz makes the plays. Triple for him, looking for the quad. His thing, 1v2, perfectly capable, long range, gets nailed, and there it is, ropz with the ace.
Also the same from mousesports in the previous. ropz is sat ready and waiting already, picks off the first, and they can't trade him out. He's just going ham. 4 kills for ropz, just owns them at the end. The ace.
The gap. No one's watching this, and ropz can shut down this entire round on his own.
ropz, come on, man, let's get it. 1v4, and he's opened up with one. They've left the bomb. They've left the bomb. Oh no, ropz is sticking it. They jump up, but the shots are missing. ropz has got the defuse, and no one gets him off of it in time.
And I'm back. This time we're looking at ropz, guys. And Vertigo, for the first time actually, when I used to do the demo reviews way back a few years ago, Vertigo was not even a competitive map. It was, I don't even know if Valve had made their official version yet, actually. And ropz is, actually, you know what? Watching ropz is kind of like watching Nico. He's another guy just supremely good crosshair placement. And it's kind of hard to tell on Vertigo. Like, Vertigo crosshair placement, it's hard to notice, like, a guy that's really good at crosshair placement on Vertigo, just because there's so many weird angles and like, off angles that you can play. Like, it's hard to be looking at the right place all the time. But ropz kind of, you know, he's kind of living the life that Nico was in a few years ago. He's stuck on mousesports. He's pretty much the star player, and mousesports has never really been a premier org. They've never battled for that top 3. I mean, they had, like, Nico was even better than ropz, and ropz is very good. Even when they had Nico, they couldn't really build around him and win games or have high-level finishes, you know. Jeez, I'm going to have to look it up on Wikipedia. I can't even remember the last time mousesports had like a good representation at a tournament. That's a pretty cool peek by ropz, actually. Like, when he jumps over there, yeah, he's at a disadvantage because he's kind of midair, but he's shooting at the guy's head, right? And the other guy kind of is going to be shooting at his foot. Keep that peek in mind for the next few rounds here. All right, so Wikipedia says they beat their only real performance in 2020 was Ice Challenge. They beat Navi in the finals 3-1 for a prize pool of 125,000. That's pretty good. They had a few other showings in 2019, but I mean, esports is all about what you did for me recently, right? He picks up the op on CT side, and I don't know if the opping was something that, you know, he voluntarily took over, or they just needed a guy to do it, sort of thing. He does well with it, but he's just such a good rifler. It's kind of like the Nafly situation, you know. Nafly on Team Liquid was just a ridiculously good rifler, and then kind of forced to pick up the op, especially on some maps. And ropz gets clotheslined there by Katie, and Jesus. And, you know, it might just be that type of situation. Okay, check out this peek. He does the exact same peek that he did a few rounds ago, where he jumps on this piece of plywood to look down. But this time, Nico knows what's up that time. It's a smart peek because he doesn't really, like, he's got the main entrance smoked off. He's got the stairs mollied, so he's got a very small area to focus on when he jumps on that piece of plywood to look over. But obviously, he did it earlier in the game, and Nico was well aware what was going on there. ropz is still a really young player. He's only 22 years old, and he came up in 2017 and was actually HLTV top 20 in 2018, 19, and 2020. So really, it was a meteoric rise, and he dealt with issues that a lot of young players coming up kind of deal with. Everybody thought he cheated. Pros thought he cheated. People in FPL thought he cheated. People in FPL Challengers thought he cheated. Like, I had top players from FPL Challengers asking me to do like the original demo review on ropz that I did because they thought he cheated. And to his credit, he's basically done everything in his power to prove that he didn't. And, you know, he was flown out to Face It before he was even signed by a team, by the way, to play FPL at Face It headquarters. So, I mean, if he was cheating, that probably would have, you know, he would have played like shit there, right? Or played less good. Anyways, what I'm getting at is he really did the best that he could, and he never really started any drama about it or complained about it. He handled his business. He just kept playing, kept hitting shots, and when he went to LAN, no change in his playstyle at all. Yeah, he might have had LAN cheats or whatever, right? But What more do you want the kid to do is what I'm getting at. He, if he was cheating, then it's kind of weird that he would, you know, have land-ready cheats ready to go as soon as he gets flown out to face at headquarters when he's not even signed by a team, right? I was going through his post history on Reddit, actually, and he posted a lot about it. He did, his AMA is literally, "Hey, I'm ropz. I'm the guy that everybody thinks cheats." And I remember JW thought this guy cheated. He was even posting in Vac Sucks, talking to Concept and some other guys, and trying to have like a reasonable conversation about it, which is kind of challenging at times with certain people or whatever. But he was actually writing out pretty long responses, trying to get his side of the story, saying he thought people cheated in the pro scene as well. Now that he's a pro, he doesn't believe that's the case, which I think is fine to believe, and you could disagree with it or agree with it, but it's a reasonable stance to have, you know, especially as a pro. But yeah, I think he handled everything that came at him very well, especially since he's so young, being only 22 now. I like that. He really thought he was going to get that kill on Katie, and then Katie pops out and just rocks him. But I think in his position, he did the best that he could, basically. Anyways, changing subjects. How dog shit is Vertigo as a map? Like, I was kind of entertained when this was brought in as a map, and it had some cool games. Nobody wanted to play it at first, but my god, this map sucks, man. It doesn't feel like a Counter-Strike map. I get it. You're trying to do cool stuff with the verticality and different levels and changing levels and stuff, but like these weird angles, like where he gets shot from there, like I don't like it personally. I think Vertigo's a terrible map. I think the positioning and where you can be is terrible. If you want to bring it a competitive map, it should be similar to Mirage, Nuke, Dust 2, etc., or Inferno. I get that Valve was reworking an old map and they wanted to, you know, grab something. They already had like a framework to work with on Vertigo, but Vertigo was never even a competitive map. In 1.6, I never played Vertigo once, except as a pub map. Like, it wasn't ever played competitively in Source, to my knowledge. And Valve, I guess, decided, you know, they had the framework for this map, so let's turn it into a competitive map, see what happens. I like that they tried it. It was cool, but now it's time to turn this thing into dust and absolutely nuke it into orbit. I hate this map so much. As a spectator, it's the worst. Some really good clearing here from ropz, actually. You can see how good his crosshair plays has been going through there was excellent. And every peak, just like Nico, really, really firm peaks, ready to go every time he is like turning a corner, you know. It's really good clear. I did the same thing as last demo. This view model, crosshair, and the bob settings are from prosettings.net. I think it's prosettings.net or .com. So it's ropz's actual crosshair. Let me know if you guys like this or if you'd rather just go to like a more visible crosshair. I'm starting to see a pattern in all the pro crosshairs. They're all very small. So I don't know how that... Like, it doesn't bother me as a spectator, but let me know if you guys want me to change it. I can make something more visible. Check out this smoke that his teammate throws from the bomb site here. Right there. It's really going to bait the CTs to think that ropz isn't pushed that far forward, right? They're going to think he's, you know, behind that smoke. Unfortunately, somebody comes in from the side and steals that free kill away from ropz, but I really like those types of setups. And honestly, they work out way more times than they don't. And even if they don't work out, you still need the smoke there, right? So throw that smoke and put your teammate in a good position to win a gunfight, and it's often going to work out. So I really like the idea, and it's something that you can do off the cuff that'll help out your teammate. You don't need to calm or strategize about it or think too much about it. Just do it. And as long as your teammate knows what the fuck is going on, it should help them out a lot, right? I haven't even talked a lot about the game here, but I had a lot to say about ropz, I guess. In regards to the cheating stuff, too, I was actually on that bandwagon, you know? I thought that when he first came up, I'm like, all these pros think he cheats. And, like, I watched some of the clips where he's looking to the side all the time, like, looking at his radar, or looking, like, 90 degrees to the side sort of thing. And I'm like, that looks fishy, but it's hard to tell, you know? Like, who knows what the what's going on. Here's a clip of it here. I have it slowed down, and you can see kind of when he gets a kill, he looks to the side, and he always said he said he was like 3 or 4 inches from his monitor, but you can kind of see the monitor there. So I don't know what the was going on. If something was up, you know, it hasn't reared its head at land, so I don't know. So was he just turning his head to look at radar on the side or look at something on a second monitor? I don't know. Radar cheats weren't out of the question at the time. It was not that abnormal. Maybe it was that, and maybe you wouldn't even see a difference of that on land, really. Maybe he didn't need it all that much. Who knows? And lots of pros sit very close to the monitor, so it is believable. So at the time, I was on the bandwagon, basically. Now, you know, I'm not so sure. He's had a long time in the game, and I don't know. It doesn't look weird. It just looks like somebody with really good crosshair placement. When I watched his demo originally, it didn't look out of place. Although I thought he might have been radar hacking or something like that, I couldn't really pinpoint a point. Pinpoint a point, nice. I couldn't pinpoint any time where he had knowledge that he shouldn't from a radar hack or something. But, like, those angles on Vertigo, I hate that shit right there. I hate those angles. Like, just make normal angles, make it a normal map, Valve. Get rid of this piece of shit. But yeah, I was basically on the bandwagon. You know, I thought it looked weird that he was looking to the side while he was streaming and stuff like that. But honestly, if he had some radar hack where he had to turn his head, it wouldn't really make sense to stream and show that to everybody. In terms of everything else, his aim and his shooting, I think it all looks clear. As far as I could tell, it looks clean. So I don't know. He seemed like a good kid. And he was young when he came up, you know, and it was probably hard to deal with all that stuff. So I feel for the guy. Anyways, I hope you guys like this. This was a pretty chill demo to watch for sure. If you'd like to support the channel, check out my Patreon. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.